Hello students, welcome to Sunya IAS. So today we are going to discuss another topic of CSAT, and that topic is going to be profit and loss. I know this is something which you have heard a lot in your previous classes, but the way we are going to approach this subject is that I'm assuming you to be completely newcomer to this topic, and so we'll begin with the basics. Okay, and one more thing is that in this topic here, what we are going to have is the basic application of previous concept we studied in the topic percentage. Okay, so it works on the idea of percentage. It is just an advanced version, you can say, of the percentage topic, but it's not difficult, it's very easy. So in profit and loss, we have to just think about a market. What is a market? You might have studied in your economy, and market is a place where a buyer and a seller meets. Okay, so whenever you go to a market, you go with the position of a customer, right? And so there is another person from whom you buy some stuff, and that guy is called a retailer. So there are 2 points of views of approaching the profit and loss question. Okay, so let us talk about the retailer part first. Obviously, the retailer is doing what? He is purchasing the goods from some wholesaler, and that price is called the cost price. Okay, then he is selling his particular good at selling price, and while selling he can have two chances. Either he can make a profit or he can make a loss. If the selling price is greater than the cost price, he is making a profit. On the contrary, if the selling price is less than the cost price, he is making a loss. That is the basic idea. Okay, so this is the very base of profit and loss. Okay, and here the quantity we have, that is the cost price, it is a very critical quantity, because everything we will talk in terms of this cost price only. And this profit and loss can also be expressed in terms of percentage, and so I can write profit percentage is nothing but the amount of profit, so that is nothing but SP minus TP, divided by the cost price. So here please pay great attention to this part. Whenever we talk about the profit and loss questions, the central value here is going to be the cost price. Everything in this chapter actually rotates around the cost price, and similarly you can write it like this into 100%. This is the way of writing the profit percent. But now I am going to tell you one thing which will make your life very easier, and it is somewhat I am borrowing from the percentage topic. So in percentage topic, I told you that suppose if there is a value and it is increasing by 50%, so how do you express it? So if there is an increase of 50%, you multiply the particular value by 1.5. Okay, that is the basic idea. You have 1 plus 50% can be written as 0.5. It becomes 1.5. The same idea is with the profit percentage and loss percentage. So suppose if there is a profit of, let's say, 10%, then you can write selling price is 1.1 times the cost price. Okay, and also if there is loss of 10%, it would be what? 1 minus 0.1. So 10% can be written as 0.1, as you know. It will become 0.9. And so you can also write, if there is a loss, selling price is nothing but 0.9 into cost price. If you understand these basics about which we talked in the percentage lecture, and here I am also repeating it for you guys only, you will be able to solve these questions with so much ease that I just cannot imagine. Okay, so this is something you must follow. And so this was the retailer point of view. Let me erase it. Then let us talk about the customer point of view. When the customer goes to market, he actually sees the price which is known as the marked price. I am writing MP for short, marked price. What is the marked price? So whenever you go to the market, you see there is written maximum retail price is this much. The retailer might sell you at the same price at the MRP, or he may provide you some discount. So one thing is there is the discount, and after the discount, what final price you have is the selling price. So selling price in both the cases is the thing which is linking the customer point of view also and the retailer point of view also. So when you have to equate the two parts, one is the profit or loss part, another is the discount part, the common key is going to be the selling price between the two. Is it clear? So these are the very basics. Suppose let us take an example. So as I told you that you should always begin with what? The cost price. Cost price is the very base of all these calculations. So let us say the cost price is rupees 100 for a particular good, and on this he is earning a profit of, let's say, 50%. If there is 50% profit, what is the selling price going to be? It is going to be 1.5 times 100. Please pay great attention to this now, because this will make your life hell a lot easier. I tell you, I guarantee that. Okay, and then you will get the value of 150. This is the selling price. Okay, if you look at the mark price, if you look from this point of view, let's say the price marked on the article is rupees 200. That is the MRP, that is mentioned on the label or on the tag. Now you are being offered a discount of 25%. So when a discount of 25% will be offered, it will be like the price is actually reduced by 25%. So when we studied the percentage topic, when there is a reduction by a certain percent, what we do? So suppose we have initial value as 1 minus 25% you are decreasing, so it will become 0.25, and you can write it like this, 0.75. So on multiplication, we can find the selling price as simply 0.75 into the marked price, that is nothing but 0.75 into marked price was 200, and that will come out to be rupees 150. So here and here the selling price is same in both of the cases. As I told you, the selling price is nothing but the link between the customer and the retailer in a market. Okay, so that is the basics, and now we'll move on to the questions part of it. Okay, so this is, a jhalak, a jhanki of our offline and online hybrid course. And so here we have exhaustively covered the topic of profit and loss, as you can see here. And now on that note, we are going to proceed forward with questions. Okay, so this is the first question, a pretty simple question. A person bought a car and sold it for this much amount, this is 3 lakh rupees, and he incurred a loss of 20%. Then how much did he spend to buy the car? So basically this question is very simple. He is giving you first of all the selling price, which is nothing but 3 lakh rupees. So be careful with the number of zeros, there are total 5 zeros. Then loss percentage is given, which is nothing but 20%. And finally you have to find the cost price, CP. So you know the very basic thing, if there is a loss of 20%, we can write selling price would be nothing but 0.8 times the cost price. Why 0.8? Because we'll just subtract from 1 this 20%. 20% can also be written as 0.2 and it will become 0.8. So I have written 0.8 here in multiplication. SP you have 3 lakh, 5 zeros are there, equal to 0.8 into CP. Simply CP you can find out by cross multiplying 8 into the denominator, and cost price is going to be by 0.8, and you can get rid of this decimal by this. Ultimately the value which you will get would be rupees 375,000. Okay, after all the cancellations and division, we'll get the final value as D. Okay, so it was a pretty easy question, it was a pretty straightforward questions. Okay, So now moving on to the next. A shopkeeper sells an article at this, so this is the selling price, and gets X% of profit. Okay. However, when he sells it at this much, if this is the first selling price, this is the second selling price, he faces the same percentage of loss. So basically he is making X% of loss. Okay, then what is the original cost of the article? Basically CP of the article is being asked. So that is how you can break down the question to find out what is being given and what you have to find. So we'll divide this question in two cases. First is the case when he is making profit, and second is the case when there is a loss. Okay, so first talk about the profit component of it. So let's write here profit part first. So here we have the selling price as rupees 40. Cost price we do not know, let us assume it to be X. And not X because X is already there. Let us assume it to be Y. Okay, and then we have profit as X%. So you know what profit percentage is. So profit is nothing but the selling price minus cost price, because here the selling price is obviously going to be greater than the cost price. Cost is Y. Obviously to make a profit, selling price should be greater than Y, and that amount is given to be 40, divided by the cost price. So see, in every denominator of profit percentage or loss percentage, you will always have the cost price component, multiplied by 100%. So here SP is what, 40, minus CP is Y, divided by Y again into 100, and this whole quantity is equal to X%. Okay, so this is the first part of the question. Now we'll move on to the second part of the question, which talks about loss. Okay, so here we have the second part in which there is a loss. The cost price would remain the same as Y, but here the selling price is nothing but rupees 20. Okay, and now there is loss percentage of same X%. So how can you write this loss percent? So you know that loss is nothing but what? Cost price minus selling price. You have to find the amount of loss, right? So loss would be how much? Cost price obviously is greater than selling price because he is making a loss. He is purchasing at a higher amount and selling at a lower amount. So here you can write CP minus SP divided by CP, because the base of the denominator of every profit percent and loss percent is nothing but the cost price, multiplied by 100% is equal to X%, like here. So if you put the values, cost price is nothing but Y minus selling price 20 divided by Y into 100 is equal to X%. So now we have a second equation here as well. By both of the cases, I have actually find out two equations. Now we'll move on to the further demand of the question, and the demand of the question is what is the value of the cost price, and we assume the cost price to be Y. So basically we have to find this value of Y. Do you have any idea how can we actually find the value of Y? So the idea is very simple. Some of you might have also guessed. If you are not able to figure out how we are going to do that, I'll request you just to pause the video for a second and then think, that brainstorming part is the best thing you can do. And if you work hard, if you really think well, and you might get the best solution for this equation, how we are going to proceed with this, that how we are going to get the value of Y. If you have that idea and if you think and you get the eureka moment, that would be the best feeling ever, I guarantee you. So if you have given a good thought, we can proceed now. So here what we can do is that here is also an X%, here is also an X%. What we can do is just equate both these parts of the equation, both of them, this part and this part, both are equal to X%. So we'll just equate both of these parts. This is going to be the way of solving. So let me just create some space here in between and equate those equations. So here we have 40 minus Y upon Y into 100. This value is equal to X%. Similarly, this value Y minus 20 upon Y into 100, this value is also equal to X%. Both the values are going to be the same. So that is the eureka moment. If you guessed it right, very well. Even though this is not the only method, you can also find the values by division. Other methods are there. but ultimate thing is you will get rid of this y and this 100 and you will be left with 40 minus y is equal to y minus 20. Ultimately bring y's on one side and these numbers on one side, you will get 2y is equal to 60. Ultimate value of y which you are going to get is nothing but y is equal to rupees 30. Okay, and so option number C is going to be the correct option in this particular case. So this was again a simple question. Here we are focusing on only one point of view, that is the retailer's point of view. So we are talking only in terms of cost price, selling price, profit and loss only. Okay, so far we are not discussing the marked price, discount wala component. Okay, so again this question is a very easy question. So there is a guy called Gopal and he bought a cell phone and sold it to Ram at 10% profit. So this guy is selling this to another person called Ram at how much? At 10% profit. Then what is happening? Then Ram wanted to sell it back to Gopal at 10% loss. Now what happened? The case was such that Ram did not like the cell phone and he decided to sell it back to Gopal, and he had to sell it back at 10% of loss. Okay, what will be Gopal's position if he agreed? Okay, that we have to find out in this particular question. What is going to be Gopal's position? So this is the basic idea of the question which I have written. Now what we can do in order to solve this question, let us assume some price of the cell phone. Okay, so suppose the cell phone, the price was rupees 100 at which Gopal bought. So Gopal paid rupees 100 to get the cell phone. Then by selling it at 10% profit, the price Ram paid was rupees 110, right? And now Ram had to sell it at 10% loss. So again Gopal will get the phone at how much? Since there is 10% loss, I will multiply this value, this cost price, with 0.9. And if you ask why 0.9, it is nothing but 1 minus 10%. 10% can also be written like that. Okay, so this price is nothing but 99 rupees. So if you want to see the overall position of Gopal, initially he bought this phone for 100 and now he is getting back the same phone for 99. Therefore, he is actually making a gain of 1 rupees, and since this cost price is 100, so he is making a 1% gain overall. Okay, so this is the overall change in Gopal's position. So gain of 1% is going to be the correct answer in this case. Okay, it was a very simple question, and the thing was, it was involving two persons who are selling to each other. Now, fourth. So this question is that in which we will use the two parts, because there is, I think, a discount portion also. So a person allows a 10% discount for the marked price. What is marked price? As I told you, the price which is given on the label, okay, on which discount is provided. And he makes a 10% gain or 10% profit. What is the cost price of the toy if the toy is marked at rupees 770? So the information given to you is that marked price is nothing but rupees 770. Discount being provided is nothing but 10%. Okay, so this is, I am talking from which point of view? Customer point of view. Same thing you can say about what? The retailer. So retailer is actually purchasing at some cost price which we do not know, and that we have to find. Let's assume it to be X, and then the gain he is making is 10%. So 10% profit he is making, and this is nothing but retailer point of view. Okay, I have told you earlier that the two things which are linking the retailer and the customer point of view is nothing but the selling price, because it is same for both. So from here also we can find the selling price, and from here also we can find the selling price, and then we are going to just equate them. That is the basic idea of this particular question. So what we can do here is simply selling price is going to be how much? Since 10% discount is given, the price would be how much? Only 90% of the original value, or you can say it is decreasing by 10%. when something decreases by 10%, what you do? 1 minus 0.1, simply you will multiply with 0.9 into 770. Okay, it would be nothing but 77 into 9. Finally, it will become 693 rupees. This is selling price from this part. Now we'll focus on that part also. Cost price is X, profit is 10%. The selling price is going to be how much? 10% more than the cost price, which is going to be nothing but 1.1. 10% more can be written as 1.1. So here we will get 1.1x. This is equal to this value. You know, this is the link between that point of view and this customer point of view. So we can simply say in the last part of the equation that 1.1x is nothing but 693. Okay, here you can say x is 693 upon 1.1. You can get rid of the decimal, multiply by 10. Here you will get 63, and finally you will get the cost price as rupees 630. So the cost price of the article is nothing but option number C, that is 630 rupees. So as far as you can see, these 4 questions we have solved only by using the basics which we discussed earlier. So you know that we are covering things in such a good manner, and questions are actually being able to be solved by the simple approach which we are using. No formula, nothing crappy about it. The only thing which we are doing is concept, understanding the problem and then applying the same to each and every question. Okay, and now we have this particular question. It is quite simple. So Rakesh had money to buy 8 mobile handsets of a particular company, but retailer offered him a very good discount, and therefore Rakesh was able to purchase 10 mobile handsets with the amount he had. What was the discount which the retailer offered? So actually in this question we do not need to go actually in the very basics of profit and loss. The only idea here is basic maths we have to do, basic maths, nothing else. It is very simple question, just you have to apply your brain. So suppose the price of each mobile is rupees 1000. Okay, and now how much money does Rakesh has? So money with Rakesh is how much? He has money enough to buy 8 mobile phones. So the money Rakesh has in this case would be 8 into 1000. That is, now he is carrying 8000 rupees, right? But the retailer is providing him some good discount, and if he get this discount, he is actually getting 10 mobile phones, 10 for the same price. So he is getting, so the cost of 10 mobiles after discount, which is nothing but the selling price in this case, would be how much? The same, because this is the money 8000 he has. In this same amount, in this 8000 only, he is able to get 10 mobiles now. So it is 8000 rupees. And so from this data, can we calculate the price of each phone? Obviously we can do. If 10 mobiles are costing 8000, we can say one mobile, its price would be now how much? 8000 upon 10, that would be nothing but 800 rupees. That is the price of one mobile phone. So given the price, the marked price which is given on the shop is rupees 1000 for each phone, right? And what is the price at which the retailer is actually selling it? It is rupees 800. So the selling price is nothing but rupees 800. Okay, what is the discount? Discount is of 200 rupees. Obviously you can see discount is how much? 1000 minus 800 is, that is rupees 200 is the discount. And now we have to just express this value in terms of a percent. So in terms of percent, it will be discount upon marked price into 100 will be the discount percentage. 200 is the discounted amount, and marked price is rupees 1000, the original price of the handset. So divided by 1000 into 100. If you simply get rid of all the things, you will get the final value as 20%. So there is 20% discount being offered by the retailer. So it was a very simple question. What you have to apply here is some brain, nothing else, nothing basic of, these are the very basics, these are simple finding of percentage, nothing else. Okay, here we are not diving deep into the concepts of profit and loss. So it is a very simple and a very good question. Okay, so as you know, UPSC is the pattern of repeating things over and over. So pay attention what we are doing here, because you might see something very similar in your actual examination also. So moving on, this is question number 6 and I'll explain the theme to you. So there is a shop owner who is offering following discount options to a customer. Okay, what are the options? So he will provide him discounts initially of 10%, then 20%, and then finally you will have to pay a service tax of 10%. First option is this, that is, you get 2 discounts one after the another and then you get to pay the service tax. The second option is discount, but initially there will be 20%, then 10%. So earlier 10%, then 20% discount was offered. Now he is offering 20% discount, then 10% discount, and finally you will have to pay a service tax of 10%. This is the second option being given. And finally, the last option is, first you pay the service tax of 10%, and then after paying the service tax, you get 2 discounts of 20% and 10%. So that is the idea. So basically a customer is being offered 3 options. The 3 options are that now you can have initially the 2 discounts, then pay the tax, or that discounts can also be in different order, or you can pay the tax first and then you actually get the discount. So we have to tell which is the best option of all the 3. Is option number 1 the best option, 2, 3, or all of them are the same, or all of them equally good? These are the 4 choices in front of us. So this is also a conceptual kind of a question, but a very easy question if you pay attention to it. Okay, so let us talk about the 3 cases differently. Now one thing is clear, if someone is offering me 10% discount, what I will do, I'll just multiply the value with how much? 0.9. Obviously we have done that so long now. If someone is offering you 20% of discount, you will multiply it with 0.8, right? Because here we will subtract 1 minus 0.1, 0.9. Here we will subtract 1 minus 0.2, 0.8. Similarly, now you have to pay a tax. If you have to pay a tax of 10%, so service tax of 10%, that would be nothing but the original amount plus the tax, so that can be written as 1.1. So initially in terms of discount we were subtracting, from 1 we are subtracting 0.1, from 1 here we are subtracting 0.2, here in 1 we will add 10%, that is 0.1, we will get the value of 1.1 as service tax. So basically whatever the cost price is, or basically what is the marked price, sorry, in this case. So here if the discount is given 10%, we multiply with 0.9. If 20% discount is given, we multiply with 0.8. If tax is given, we will multiply with 1.1. That is the basic idea which we have to follow. Okay, is it good so far? Because this is the very simple, very basic thing we have been discussing a lot of times now. Next part, coming to the question, let us assume some value of the marked price. So let us say the marked price is, so you can assume different values, you can assume 100 rupees, anything. But now in this case, I am going to assume this value to be rupees 1000. Why rupees 1000? That is not something I am going to tell you so early. So I want you to figure out why I assumed it to be 1000. Okay, if you are able to figure out, then great, eureka. Otherwise, we'll see. I think some secrets are best kept secrets. So let us begin with the marked price value of rupees 1000. Let us go with the first case. The first case say, initially we will provide a 10% discount. So for 10% discount, what we do? Multiply with 0.9. Then we provide a 20% discount. So further we'll multiply with 0.8. So 10, 0.9, 20%, 0.8. And further you have to pay a service tax. So you multiply with 1.1. And the final price is how much? Rupees. The marked price is rupees 1000. So in this way you will get the actual discounted price after getting all the discounts and paying all the tax. You will get some amount that way. The second way is, first you get the 20% discount. So what we'll do, we'll multiply with 0.8. After that, further you get the 10% discount, so multiply with 0.9. Then we pay the service tax, and that would be how much? 1.1. And then that is the marked price 1000. So in this way, by all multiplication, we will get some amount. Similarly, if we look at the third option, we have to pay the service tax first, so we multiply with 1.1 initially. Then we get 10% discount, 20% discount, so 0.8, and then finally 10% discount, 0.9, multiplied by the marked price, that is nothing but 1000, and here also will get some price. And you will be surprised to know that all these prices actually come to be the same, and all of them will be same. They will be nothing but 792 rupees, 792 rupees and 792 rupees. Why? Because no matter you change the order of the multiplication, the answer always remains the same, and the three prices are going to be the same: 792, 792 and 792 in each case. So it doesn't matter whether you pay tax first and get discount later, or you get discounts first and pay tax later. All of them are going to be equally good for the customer. So that is the basic idea of the question. Okay, so in this way we can see option number D is going to be the correct option in this case. Now moving on to the last question of the day, I guess. Yeah, and this is a very good question. This is, out of all the questions we discussed, were pretty easy that you can do. This question needs, some amount of hard work to be done on your part to understand, also to approach also. And now just give it a good read. Try to just understand this question. Okay, try to read, try to get a picture of what is going on in this particular transaction. Okay, so just think that there is some market where animals are being sold and purchased, and there is one guy going to sell his 2 goats, and on them, on one he's getting actually a loss, and on the other he's actually making a profit, even when he's selling at the same price. So how can that happen? Just give it a thought. That thinking part is really important. So please read it, give a moment to think about it. Okay, so I think you might have given it a good thought. So basically what is happening here now, that there are 2 goats, goat 1 in which he is making a profit of 10%, and then there is a goat 2 on which he is making a loss. The selling price of both the goats is the same. The selling price of this goat and this goat is the same, but here he is making profit and here he is making loss. What do you think that means? That means that the cost price of both these goats are different. So here the cost price is going to be different, and here the cost price is going to be different. Okay, here the cost price we can assume to be X, and here the cost price we are going to assume to be Y. Profit percent is 10% here, and profit here is loss is there. Let me write loss. So loss percent here is again 10%. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to just write the equations here also, in this case also we'll just try to solve them and get the values of, I think, X and the value of Y. That would be the way to approach this particular question, right? So this is a really good question. There are certain questions which you must pay great attention to. If they are repeating and you know how to solve them, it would be such a beneficial and strategic advantage to you that you cannot imagine. And seriously guys, believe me, I mean, this is no joke. If you try to figure out this question right now, work hard on it at this moment, things will be very easy, and you might be lucky, I guess, if you get the same question again. Okay, so please give it a try. So we'll proceed with this question. one thing which I am going to do here is I am going to assume the value of the selling price, because not much values are given to me, so I'll assume the value, and I'll assume this values, both of them are same, so I'll assume this value not 100, not anything, but I'll assume this value to be 99. Why 99? Try to figure out, that is the fun part of it. Why I'm assuming it to be 99? Why not 100? Why not 1000? So okay, all that said, we'll move on further. We can just write the equation. How much is profit percent? Profit percent is nothing but we have selling price minus cost price upon cost price into 100. Profit percent is 10, selling price is 99 we assumed, cost price is x into 100. Okay, so this is the first equation. Here we can say how much is going to be the value of x. So we can just simplify it. We can actually get rid of this x by cross multiplication from the denominator. So let me solve this part of the equation first. We'll get 10x is equal to 100 times 99 minus x. Cancel out this 10 0 1 times, then send this 10 into denominator. We'll get 0.1x is equal to 99 minus x. Okay, on keeping the things on one side, you will send it here. Here we will get 1.1x is equal to 99, and here you will get the value of x to be 99 upon 1.1, and finally you will get the value of x to be 90. So here we are getting this value of cost price to be how much? 90 rupees. So here you can see cost price was 90, he was selling at 99, so he was making a profit of 9 rupees or 10%. Now we will take the another case and write equation for them also. So here you can see how much is going to be the loss percent. Loss percent would be nothing but cost price minus selling price, because here cost price is greater than the selling price since it is a loss, divided by cost price into 100. This loss percent is nothing but 10 y minus selling price you assume to be 99 upon y into 100. What you can do, again doing the same calculation. So now I'm going to erase it. I need some space here, and the calculation is going to be somewhat similar that we did here also. Okay. So here what we will do, we will just send this y into cross multiplication. We will get 10y is equal to 100 times y minus 99. Get rid of this 1 0, send this 10 into cross multiplication down here. You will get 1 divided by 10, or further you can write 0.1 y is equal to y minus 99. Bring this 99 here and this 0.1 y here. You will get 99 is equal to 0.9 y. Ultimately, you will get the value of y as 99 upon 0.9. That would be nothing but 110. So the value of y actually comes out to be rupees 110. So here you can see he is purchasing the goat at 110 and selling at 99. So obviously he is making a loss of 11 rupees or 10%. So this is the first part of the question. I have done two separate cases, two separate calculations, because there are actually two different transactions. One is a profit making transaction, another is a loss making transaction. But what was similar in both is that we use the same concepts of profit percent and loss percent, and then actually got the value of cost price in one case and cost price in another case. One comes out to be 99, other comes out to be 110, and so you might have guessed why 99 is there, so that we can get good values here in calculation. If I assume this value to be 100, you might not have been getting such nice and beautiful values here. You might be getting some fractions and so on, but how to actually approach with this SP equal to 99? How do we come to assume that? So these are the things which are not so easy to find out. Some things must be told at the right moment, at the opportune time, correct? So this was the first part. I'll erase it. And now what we have to find is that what is the overall transaction. In this overall transaction, what he is achieving actually? Is he making an overall loss, overall profit, or no profit and no loss? What is the situation here? These are the two transactions. One is loss making, one is profit making. What is the net result of both the two? That is we have to find. So I'll just try to clear all of it and write down whatever I have found out. So we'll just erase it. On GOAT 1, the selling price was rupees 99 and cost price we found out to be rupees 90. So this was the profit making transaction. For another GOAT, the GOAT 2, the selling price was same, which is 99, but the cost price we calculated to be 110, and this is the loss making transaction. What is the overall profit and loss percent? That we can find by finding overall cost price and overall selling price. So the total selling price in this transaction, total SP, is going to be 99 into 2, or 99 plus 99, both are the same thing. Here and here we are just adding them up. We get 198 rupees as the total selling price. And what about the total cost price? We get 90 plus 110, that is 200 rupees as the total cost price. As you can see, total cost is greater and total selling price is lesser, less than 2 rupees. So overall we can say that they are making a loss. So the option of profit is cancelled and no profit, no loss is also cancelled. We are sure that actually he is making a loss of 2 rupees, as you can see. Okay, from 200 to 198, the loss is of 2 rupees. And now we have to express it in terms of percentage. So we can say loss percentage is going to be the amount of loss divided by the cost price in 200. The loss is rupees 2. Cost price we assume to be 200, total cost price 200. Just a minute. In 200. Overall, we'll get rid of all of the values. We'll get 1% as the final loss percentage. And this, my friends, is the answer to this particular question, that is option number C. So in these two calculations, what we get is finally, the loss percentage is 1%. And this question is also not that difficult a question. If you just look at the solution once and try to solve it again by your own, I am sure that you will be able to solve it. Okay. So guys, finally, I would like to thank you all for your patience, for your cooperation. And I know that you are the one who can make it happen. If you give your best for CSAT, there's nothing which can stop you from actually clearing this examination. Okay. So thanks.